other than Red Scare propaganda, which implies socialism equals poor, one thing that people don't understand is, historically speaking, there have always been two major types of defenders of any kind of anti-capitalist sentiment, which is the either hyper-educated sons and daughters of aristocrats who find the economic organization of society to be morally abhorrent, or the peasant class. Everything in between can go either way, and oftentimes goes the way of the right. If it goes the way of the revolutionary instead of the reactionary, you have a revolution. But in most circumstances, it goes the way of the reactionary. But that's it. That's often how this goes. It's not new. The idea of like champagne socialist is not a new concept. There are plenty of examples of that. Always. It's a super old concept, and the fascists back then used to say the same shit. Ironically. Might be wrong, but Red Revolution succeeded in Russia because of elites. All matter of revolution that you learn, whether it be like bourgeois revolutions even, like, or revolutions led by aristocrats or small business owners, whatever the fuck, every single one of them, no matter what, every single one of them has always had a collection, an assortment of like the peasant class, the serfs, simultaneously with academics or at least like a robust group of people who have the capacity for advocacy and the time for advocacy and diligent learning. For the Marx, you have an Engels, right? That's just how it works. You always have students, and then you have the peasants, or some other form of the proletariat. Yes, I just mean like peasants, proletariat, working class. Lenin writes the importance of the allegiance between socialist intelligentsia and the legit proletariat. The main difference in that structure is that the peasant, or the serf, or the proletariat recognizes their class position. Neoliberalism has been so effective in mystifying class and destroying any sort of like class antagonism for the working class, because class solidarity always has existed for the billionaires, for the millionaires, for the capital owners. Okay? It has been so effective in eviscerating class consciousness that you see the otherwise peasants, the serfs, and the proletariat firmly uphold values that are contradicting to their existence, and in many instances openly antagonistic. So antagonistic that capitalist dogma is so pervasive that they come here and get mad at me when I say a better future is possible. A different process is possible. They go, "Oh, dude, you're a grifter. You're literally like a televangelist. Fuck you. You're clearly a televangelist." It's like, I am not promising you anything. I'm simply describing to you why you feel the way that you do. Okay? Anything I do after that, whether it be charitable giving or anything like that, I'm doing on my own. It's on my own volition. I'm not doing it because I want you to be like, "Oh, look at you. You're a good guy." I used to do it in private, and people will yell at me. Now I do it not only privately, but also in public. And people still yell at me. But charity does not make you a good person. Charity does not fix these structures. Charity is just, it's helpful. If you can do it, then it's great. Ultimately, it frustrates people that I am so heavily rewarded for basically telling people the way that things work are not the way that they have been taught. People get really mad at that. You shouldn't get mad at me for that. You should get mad at the structure that has presented a future for you that is unfortunately not as prosperous as your parents, as the prior generation. When will you be on the Joe Rogan podcast? Never.